Ladies and gentlemen, sons and daughters of destiny, hear me today. This is not just another moment in time. It is a divine interruption, a sacred appointment. A letter has been written to you, a message inscribed from eternity, penned by the hand of wisdom itself. It carries the weight of heaven and the urgency of purpose, and today that letter is delivered into your hands. Will you read it? Will you receive it? Or will you cast it aside as another piece of forgotten mail? Listen carefully, for this is no ordinary letter. It comes from the mind that designed the universe, the intelligence that orchestrates the dance of the stars, the breath that gives life to dust. It is a call, a reminder, a revelation of what has always been inside you, but has been buried under fear, ignorance, and distractions. This letter does not come to entertain you, but to awaken you. It does not seek your applause, but your transformation. It begins with one truth that cannot be ignored. You were never an accident. You were never an experiment. You were never a mistake. Before the foundation of the world, you were already known, chosen, and designed with precision. There is something inside you that the world needs, something unique, something irreplaceable. Yet, too many have lived and died without ever unwrapping the gift within them. Too many graves are filled with unwritten books, unsung songs, undiscovered inventions, and unfulfilled destinies. This letter is a plea. Do not let your potential die with you. Inside you is a seed, a divine deposit. That seed holds the blueprint of your assignment, the key to your significance. But hear me well. Potential means nothing if it is never activated. A seed, no matter how powerful, will never grow if it is not planted. Potential that is never used is potential wasted. The tragedy of life is not death, but a life that never truly lived. So why do so many fail to activate their purpose? Because they have believed a lie, the lie of limitation, the lie of impossibility, the lie of not enough. But this letter shouts a greater truth. You have everything you need within you. The resources of heaven are behind you, and the wisdom of the ages is waiting for you to seek it. There are no limitations except the ones you accept. The only thing greater than your challenges is the power placed within you to overcome them. Now let this truth shake you awake. You were sent to this earth to make a difference. You were not placed here to exist, to pay bills, to retire, and to die. No! You were placed here to bring solutions, to manifest ideas, to shine a light that no darkness can overcome. You are not a follower of trends. You were born to set them. You are not a consumer of culture. You were designed to shape it. But the choice is yours. Purpose is never automatic. It must be discovered, pursued, and fulfilled with intention. But let me warn you, purpose comes at a cost. It will demand your discipline, your courage, your commitment. It will separate you from mediocrity, from complacency, from the masses who settle for survival instead of significance. If you choose to answer this call, you will no longer fit into the world's expectations. You will no longer be satisfied with the ordinary. You will no longer be comfortable with excuses. Greatness is not for the lazy, the fearful, or the indifferent. It is for those who dare to believe that their existence matters. So now, the letter has been delivered. The words have been spoken. The truth has been revealed. But what will you do with it? Will you walk away unchanged, or will you rise up and take your place? Will you silence the voice of doubt and unleash the power within you? The world is waiting. Your generation is waiting. Heaven is watching. The pen has written, the seal has been broken, and the message is clear. You were born for more. Now go and live it. You were created with purpose. You are not an accident or a mistake. You were intentionally designed with a specific assignment that the world needs. Your potential must be activated. Inside you is a seed of greatness, but it will remain dormant unless you cultivate it through action, discipline, and faith. The only limits are the ones you accept. Fear, doubt, and excuses are the greatest enemies of your destiny. You already have everything you need to succeed. You were born to make an impact. You are not here just to exist. You were sent to solve problems, influence culture, and create lasting change. Purpose requires sacrifice. Fulfilling your destiny comes at a cost. It demands discipline, courage, and a willingness to step away from mediocrity. The time to act is now. You have received the message. The call has been made. What you do next determines whether you will live a life of greatness or regret. Before you were born, before you took your first breath, before your name was ever spoken, you were already known and designed with a specific purpose. You are not a random product of nature, nor are you an accident of human history. You are a deliberate creation, formed with precision, intention, and destiny in mind. There is something placed inside of you that the world needs. Something unique, something irreplaceable. Everything that exists in this world was created for a reason. The sun was designed to give light, the ocean to sustain life, and every tree, animal, and element plays a role in the grand design of existence. If nature operates with such intentionality, how much more do you, made in the image of the Creator, carry within you a purpose greater than yourself? Too many people drift through life believing that they are just another person living another life with nothing significant to contribute. This is one of the greatest lies that has ever been believed. You are not just born to occupy space, to work, pay bills, and eventually die. No, your life is an assignment, a divine appointment, a mission waiting to be fulfilled. Everything you need to accomplish your purpose has already been placed inside of you. Just as a seed contains within it the blueprint for a tree, you carry within you the potential to become everything you are meant to be. But a seed must be planted, nurtured, and allowed to grow. Many people go through life without ever tapping into the greatness within them, simply because they never recognize what was already there. You were created with gifts, abilities, and a calling that no one else can fulfill in the same way you can. There are people waiting for the solutions you were designed to bring. There are lives that will be changed by what you carry inside you. There are dreams that must be realized, innovations that must be discovered, and breakthroughs that will only happen when you step into your purpose. But purpose is not automatic. Just because you were created with intention, it must be discovered, embraced, and pursued with everything in you. You must seek it, cultivate it, and walk boldly in it. Purpose is the difference between merely existing and truly living. It is what separates a life of fulfillment from a life of regret. So the question is not whether you have a purpose. The question is, will you answer the call? Will you rise above distractions, fears, and doubts to step into what you were created to do? The world is waiting. Your generation is waiting. The time is now to wake up, recognize who you are, and step into the greatness that was placed inside you before you ever took your first breath. Potential is one of the most powerful yet misunderstood forces within a person. It is the hidden ability, the dormant power, the untapped greatness that lies beneath the surface. Every human being is born with incredible potential. But potential alone, it must be recognized, activated, and developed. A seed, no matter how full of life, will never grow unless it is planted and nurtured. In the same way, your potential will remain locked inside you unless you take action to bring it to life. The greatest tragedy in life is not death, but a life that was never fully lived. Millions of people go to their graves with books never written, songs never sung, businesses never started, and dreams never realized. They carried greatness within them, but they never activated it. They lived with the possibility of impact, but never turned that possibility into reality. Why? Because they either didn't believe in their potential, didn't know how to develop it, or allowed fear and doubt to paralyze them. Your potential is like a muscle. It grows only when it is used. If you never challenge yourself, never step beyond your comfort zone, and never pursue growth, your potential remains stagnant. Greatness is not automatic. It requires effort, learning, and persistence. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not talent or luck, but the willingness to develop what is already inside them. The most successful people in the world were not born extraordinary. They simply made the decision to activate their potential. Activating your potential requires self-awareness. You must first recognize what has been placed inside of you. What are your gifts? What are your strengths? What ignites passion in your soul? Too often people focus on what they lack instead of what they have. They compare themselves to others, waiting for something external to validate them, not realizing that everything they need is already within them. Once you recognize your potential, the next step is action. You cannot wait for the perfect moment. The best time to start is now. Develop your skills, invest in your knowledge, seek out mentors, and take bold steps even when you feel uncertain. Growth only happens through movement, and success comes to those who refuse to remain idle. One of the biggest enemies of potential is fear. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of not being enough. But fear is only powerful when you allow it to control you. Every great achiever has faced fear, but they did not let it stop them. They pushed through, and in doing so, they unlocked new levels of their potential. You are sitting on a wealth of untapped greatness. You have dreams inside you that must be realized. The world is waiting for what you carry, but it will never see it unless you activate it. Do not let your potential die inside you. Plant the seed. Water it daily with effort and determination, and watch as it grows into the life you were destined to live. The only limits that exist in life are the ones you choose to accept. From the moment you were born, you were designed with limitless potential, wired for greatness, and equipped with everything you need to succeed. Yet most people live far beneath their true capacity, not because they lack the ability, but because they have been conditioned to believe in limitations. They have allowed fear, doubt, and external voices to convince them that they are not enough, that their dreams are too big, or that success is reserved for a select few. But none of these beliefs are true. The greatest prison a person can live in is the prison of their own mind. History is filled with stories of individuals who defied expectations, broke barriers, and proved that limitations are nothing more than illusions. Illusions are not barriers. They're props that's acting to block your mind. Illusions are not barriers, and prove that people who were told they would never succeed, who faced impossible odds, who had every reason to quit but refused to believe in failure. They chose to see beyond their circumstances, beyond their obstacles, and into the realm of possibility. What made the difference? It was not their background, resources, or connections. It was their mindset. They refused to accept the limits imposed upon them, and in doing so, they redefined what was possible. You must understand that limitations are often a product of conditioning. From childhood, many are told what they cannot do, what they cannot become, and what is beyond their reach. These words plant seeds of doubt, and over time they take root. But just as a lie repeated often enough can feel like the truth, so too can a limitation that is constantly reinforced. The only way to break free is to challenge every belief that tells you something. Question it, test it. Refuse to accept it as your reality. Every invention, every breakthrough, every great achievement in history came from someone who dared to think beyond the limits of their time. Airplanes were once thought impossible. The idea of electricity was once ridiculed. Running a mile in under 4 minutes was once believed to be beyond human capability, until someone did it, and then many followed. What changed? The limit was shattered. The moment one person proved it was possible, it became possible for others. The same principle applies to your life. If you believe you are limited, you will live limited. But the moment you shift your mindset, the moment you decide that you will not be defined by circumstances, failures, or the opinions of others, you open the door to extraordinary possibilities. The only thing greater than your challenges is the power within you to overcome them. Your life is a reflection of what you believe is possible. If you believe in limits, you will live a limited life. If you believe in possibility, you will break barriers and achieve the impossible. The choice is yours. Will you accept the lie of limitation, or will you rise above it and step into the limitless potential that was placed inside you from the very beginning? You were not born just to exist. You were born to make an impact. Your life was never meant to be ordinary, routine, or insignificant. From the moment you entered this world, there was a divine assignment attached to your name. A specific role that only you can fulfill. You are not here by accident. You were sent here with a mission, a responsibility, and a purpose that the world is waiting for you to activate. Every person is created with a unique combination of gifts, talents, and passions that align with their purpose. The problem is that too many people never discover what they were meant to do. They spend their lives chasing comfort, fitting into society's expectations, and following paths that others have set for them. But you were not created to blend in. You were designed to stand out. You were not placed here to simply follow trends. You were born to create them. Impact is not about status, wealth, or fame. It is about influence. True success is measured by the number of lives you touch, the solutions you bring, and the legacy you leave behind. The most powerful people in history were not necessarily the richest or the most famous. They were the ones who changed lives, shifted cultures, and left a mark that could not be erased. The question is, what mark will you leave? What will be different because you lived? The answer lies in your willingness to embrace your calling and step into your full potential. Too many people hold back because they believe they are not qualified, not talented enough, or not ready. But the truth is, the world does not need perfection. It needs passion, dedication, and people who are willing to rise despite their flaws. The greatest leaders, inventors, and visionaries were not perfect, but they were determined. They saw problems and became solutions. They saw darkness and became light. Making an impact requires courage. It means stepping out of the safety of the familiar and daring to pursue something greater than yourself. It means refusing to settle for mediocrity and committing to excellence in everything you do. It means understanding that your time on this earth is limited and that every day is an opportunity to move closer to fulfilling your destiny. You have something inside you that can change lives. Whether through your voice, your ideas, your creativity, or your leadership, you carry something the world needs. The question is, will you bury it or will you use it? Will you spend your life in the background, or will you step forward and take your place? The world is waiting. There are people who need what you have to offer. Your impact is not an option, it is your responsibility. It is time to rise, to step into your calling, and to make the difference you were born to make. Purpose is a powerful force, but it comes at a price. Everyone desires success, fulfillment, and significance, yet few are willing to pay the cost required to achieve them. The reality is that purpose demands sacrifice. It is not handed out freely, nor is it discovered by accident. It requires discipline, courage, and an unwavering commitment to the vision placed inside you. If you truly want to fulfill your destiny, you must be willing to let go of anything that stands in the way of your growth and assignment. One of the first sacrifices purpose demands is comfort. You cannot live a life of greatness while clinging to a life of ease. Growth happens in discomfort, and progress is made outside of familiar territory. Too many people settle for what is safe. avoiding challenges because they fear failure. But in doing so, they rob themselves of the opportunity to expand their potential. The greatest achievements in history were made by those who stepped into the unknown, took risks, and refused to be confined by their limitations. Another sacrifice that purpose requires is time. Your destiny will not unfold overnight. It takes years of preparation, learning, and persistence. Every great leader, innovator, and world changer invested their time in personal growth, mastering their craft, and developing the character needed to sustain their success. Many want the rewards of purpose without the commitment it requires. They want influence without effort, results without dedication. But purpose does not work that way. You must be willing to prioritize your mission over distractions, to say no to time-wasting activities, and to focus relentlessly on what truly matters. Purpose also requires you to let go of negative influences. Not everyone in your life is meant to walk with you on your journey. Some people will discourage you, feed your doubts, and try to keep you in the comfort of mediocrity. If you want to fulfill your purpose, you must surround yourself with those who challenge you to grow, who push you toward excellence, and who believe in the vision placed inside you. Relationships can either propel you forward or hold you back. Choose wisely. Fear is another barrier that must be sacrificed. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping into the unknown. These are the chains that keep people from their destiny. But fear only has power over those who allow it to control them. Every person who has ever achieved something great had to confront fear and move forward despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to act in spite of it. Ultimately, purpose demands perseverance. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. But those who succeed are the ones who refuse to quit. They stay committed when things get difficult. They rise after every failure, and they press forward no matter the cost. Purpose is not for the weak or the passive. It is for those who are willing to pay the price. The question is, are you willing? The greatest mistake you can make in life is believing that you have more time. Too many people delay their purpose, waiting for the perfect moment to start. They tell themselves, I'll do it next year. I'll take action when I feel ready. I'll step into my calling when the circumstances are right. But the truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. Time does not wait for you to feel prepared. Every second you delay is a second you cannot get back. The future is not promised. And every day that passes is one less day to fulfill the assignment placed inside you. Opportunity does not wait for hesitation. Many people live with regret, not because they lack talent or potential, but because they postponed action until it was too late. They had dreams, ideas, and visions, but they buried them under excuses and procrastination. Life has a way of moving forward, regardless of whether you are ready. If you do not step up and take responsibility for your purpose now, you may find yourself looking back years from today, wondering what could have been if only you had started. Action is what separates dreamers from achievers. Every great leader, inventor, and visionary took action despite uncertainty. They did not wait for all the answers. They started with what they had. If you want to make an impact, you must adopt the same mindset. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to break free from complacency. Excuses multiply, doubts grow stronger, and soon the vision that once burned inside you fades into the background of an ordinary life. Fear is often the greatest thief of action. Many hesitate because they're afraid of failing, afraid of what others will say, or afraid of stepping outside their comfort zone. But failure is not the enemy. Inaction is. Failure is a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth. Some of the most successful people in history failed multiple times before they succeeded. The difference is they did not let failure stop them. They used it to refine their approach and push forward. Purpose is urgent, The world is waiting for what you have to offer. There are people whose lives will be changed because you had the courage to step into your calling. Your talents, ideas, and voice are needed, but they will never make an impact if they remain trapped inside you. The question is not whether you have something valuable to give. The question is whether you will act on it before it's too late. The time is now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when you feel more comfortable. Now, take the first step. Move forward even if you feel unprepared. Begin with what you have, where you are, and trust that as you walk in purpose, the path will become clearer. Destiny is calling, but it will not wait forever. What will you do with the time you have left? In conclusion, the message that has been delivered today is clear and profound. You are not here by accident, and your life has a purpose that must be fulfilled. Inside you is the seed of greatness, but it will remain dormant unless you actively choose to nurture it, step into your potential, and refuse to accept the limitations that others or even your own fears may impose. Your purpose is not something that will simply unfold on its own. It requires intentional action, sacrifice, and a willingness to rise above the ordinary and embrace the extraordinary. Purpose demands discipline, time, courage, and a commitment to your vision. It requires you to take risks, make sacrifices, and let go of anything that distracts you from your calling. You cannot wait for the perfect moment, for time waits for no one. Every moment you delay is a moment that could have been used to make a difference, to take a step toward the greatness you were destined for. You are here to make an impact, not to simply exist. Your life was designed to solve problems, to bring solutions, and to create change. The world is waiting for what you carry inside you. The only question that remains is whether you will rise to the challenge, embrace your purpose, and step into the greatness that was always meant for you. So do not let fear, doubt, or procrastination keep you from fulfilling your destiny. Take action now, no matter how small, and begin walking the path that leads to your true calling. Your time is now, and the world needs what you have to offer. Make it count.